Okay, wonderful. I'm so excited that we're starting this new series of self-love. I know that for myself, um, there's always that need of more attention to that self-love. Not only is it important for us, but it also to show our daughters and everybody around us how we value ourselves, how important it is. And I think that it's also important to teach other people, how to act with us. It's according to how much we love ourselves that we teach others how to treat us. So I think it's very critical. And I have a very interesting slideshow for you guys with an interesting exercise that we'll start during this session, but we'll complete it at home. So let me share my screen with you and we shall start. Here we go. Self-love, such an important thing. So first of all, we really need to congratulate ourselves that we're actually doing this. So congratulate yourself, give you a little pat on the back, good job. Yeah. You're on this path to a better relationship with you. And what's more important than your relationship with you? It's the most important thing, isn't it? You're worthy of the effort and the focus that you're giving to this. Your time is valuable. All of our time is valuable. The time that you spend here, you'll never get back. But since it's such an important thing, it's an investment in you. This time is truly an investment in your well-being. So together, let's take our first steps towards increasing loving ourselves. Are we ready? You have to say yes. It is
yes.
important. Yes. All right. So self-love is the fuel. What is it? It's the fuel that allows us as an individual to reach our full potential. And it's filled with compassion, grace, gentleness. It's making space and prioritizing ourselves, allowing us to embrace our lives completely and wholeheartedly. Self-love is learning to extend kindness towards ourselves, even when we struggle and suffer. It is extending forgiveness to ourselves when we make mistakes, and we all make mistakes. Self-love means prioritizing ourselves and giving ourselves permission to find and believe in our strengths and gifts. Sometimes it means making space to identify our needs and wants, and it involves setting boundaries. What self-love is not? It's not perfection, nor is it always being happy. It's not based on your achievements and your external measurement of success. It's not rooted in shame-based criticism or fear. It does not shame, lie, minimize, or criticize. So now we know what it is and what it isn't. And one of the benefits to truly loving yourself, to really feeling that a kinder, gentle you, that's what it creates. More energy for living life fully, and more love to share with others, healthier relationships with loved ones, and no longer dependent on external measures of success. Here's a wonderful quote: practicing self-love means learning how to trust ourselves, to treat ourselves with respect, and to be kind and affectionate to ourselves. Really, really important words of wisdom. So step one, let's set the intention for this self-love for ourselves. Can we do that? Are we ready? Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So gently close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths, inhaling fully and exhaling slowly. Now think back to what drew you to this workshop. What was it that was in your heart that said, I need to pay attention to this? Think about that for a second. Now reflect on what you hope to gain from this process. Feel it in your heart. All the things that you can gain by increasing your self-love. Pay attention to the changes in your body as you're assimilating all of these thoughts and emotions. How is your breath shifting, changing? How are you feeling? Take 3 more deep breaths. And when you're ready, come back and open your eyes. Okay, so let's see how we can increase our self-appreciation. I'm going to share with you our first exercise, which we will start our life inventory. So give me 1 second. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. This is an exercise that I found extremely valuable for myself. I did it just a few months ago, and there was a twist to it. After I did it, I shared it with a very close friend of mine, and she reflected back to me what she thought I should add to my list. So I'm going to invite you all to look at this list. This is my list. This is not your list, but this is going to be your beginning of doing your life inventory. How valuable are you to you? Can you put a dollar amount to it? As you see in the first line here, I'm valuing my lifetime value to be $1 billion. That means everything that I've done so far, everything that I will do, how I've impacted the world, the people, my family, and what I want to leave as a legacy behind me. This is not dollars and cents, how much is in my bank account. This is the value of me. So I invite you to all open up your microphone and tell me, what do you consider to be your value? Share. We are doing such amazing work. I know that all of us on this call is doing amazing work and contribution to this universe. And there's no coincidences that all of us on this call, if I'm not mistaken, are healers and teachers and students. So how do you value your life? Something to consider, right?
Yes.
Yes. So as you can see, I have different columns, and I will give you in a Google worksheet this template so you can fill it out at home. But I want to start the process now together in this environment that is safe and nurturing and loving for you, to take a look. What are your personality traits? What are your skills and abilities? And then what are your interests? And you can add columns to this if you find that there are other things you want to add. So I'm going to read to you a few of mine. So my education is I have a bachelor's degree in accounting. I have several certifications, some of which are in the business world and some of which are in the healing world. And then I listed some of my personality traits. So you have to sit back and say, so who am I? Now you can Google personality traits and you'll get a whole list of them, and you can see what you resonate with and what you don't. And you can take a look at mine and see, do I have that? Do I not have that? So some of mine is that I'm adaptable. And I listed them in alphabetical order just so it's easy to read. That's not the order of importance. So I'm adaptable, I'm ambitious, I'm assertive, I'm compassionate, I'm curious, I'm decisive. So think about how you act in your everyday life. Do you have these traits? Do you have what are your other traits that you have? And then I listed my skills and abilities. So I'm an accountant and I have all of these different professional skills, but I also have other skills that are not so related to my profession, like connecting with people. And some of it is also pet care. I love animals. So that's a skill that I have. I mean, I walk down the street and I talk to all of the animals, the cats, the dogs that are in the neighborhood, and I really enjoyed that. And then I have also my interests. So what, and in the interest, these are things that either you are doing or you want to do. It doesn't have to be just what you're creating right now. So I love animals, as I said. I love doing energy healing. I love giving and receiving. My interest lies in my family connections, meeting new people, learning. I love going to the movies and watching a good movie and getting lost in the story. Reading, self-improvement, spirituality. I love to travel. Just today, I was speaking to a friend and I said, what reward can we give to ourselves when we achieve a certain goal? And we decided that maybe we'll take a trip to Italy. And then we started to describe what we would do once we get there. So that's something that I'd love to do. And walks in nature. Now, this is the list that I created on my own. Then I got my list that my friend came back and she filled out. She said, you forgot like 100 different things. And she started rattling things off. This friend I trust very much. She's very positive. She's very loving. And she knows me for 30 years. This is somebody that knows me well. I wouldn't give this to somebody that doesn't know me or that has some negativity to them or that I don't trust. So if you're going to choose to create this list and then share it with somebody for feedback, make sure that it's really somebody that you have a heart connection with. Any thoughts on this inventory list? Has anybody done this before?
I did Meira for Mother's Day.
Wow.
Yes, and I was like describing myself as actually not really as me, but as mother, and how do I exchange my feelings and my skills also. But I didn't do like for self-love. No, I didn't do that.
So I invite you to take what you did for Mother's Day and revamp it to this. You know, what's the appreciation that you can develop for you? When I looked at this list, I said, you know, if I was somebody, a strange person looking at this list, I said, this is an interesting person. I think I'd like to befriend her. So that was level 1, but level 2 was even more impactful when I got the feedback from my friend, because how somebody else sees you is very, very different than how you see yourself sometimes. So I encourage the second level. So let's take a look at what's coming next. Let me get, all right. So this is sharing our self-appreciation with ourselves. So what happens next? So for homework, you'll complete your life inventory. I will email everyone the slides for the workshop. So you can have it all and you can fill it out for yourself. After you've completed the spreadsheet, if you'd like to share it with somebody that you know very well, as I've said before, someone you trust, ask them to review what you've listed and see if they have any additions to recommend to you. I felt it was an amazing experience to see how much more I actually contribute. When you've completed it, if you'd like to share it with me, feel free to email it to me. I'd love to see the life inventory for everybody. And we're almost at the end of this session. I'd like everybody to open up their mics and maybe we can discuss some of the points that I've indicated and how you feel about where you are in your self-love at this moment.
Me, I liked very much the time for breathing.
Yes.
Just like stopping the world, let's say, or
Yes.
whatever that's going on around, and concentrating in myself. I like that very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important that we do that, periodically. Yes, I'd love to hear from the rest of you guys. Just jump in. You don't have to wait any. You can open up your mic and share. So I think a good indicator that I've noticed in the world of how much self-love I have is what am I attracting into my world? How the people are that are dealing with me and how they're interacting with me. Do I have the feeling that I'm loved by others? That level, if you don't feel loved by others, then you have to take a look inside. Do you love yourself? You'll never receive more love from others than you feel for yourself. So for those of us that are single out there like me, I work on myself continually so that I can attract the man that I'm worthy of, that I really want. So if I continually improve, my anticipation is that the man that I attract into my life will also be of that level. If I'm having difficulties with my friends around me, then I have to look and say, am I taking care of myself? Are my boundaries not clear? What's wrong with my self-love level that I'm attracting these kinds of reactions from others? And the more we do that, then I think the higher we can get in the level of self-love, because everybody's a reflection of us. We'll never attract into our world things that we don't deserve or we don't truly want. We just need to go inwardly and see, where am I? How have I been in the last week with myself? Have I taken the time to take care of me? Am I sacrificing and feeling resentful? Many mothers do that. They sacrifice for their children because nothing is more important in our world than our children. But are we getting to the point where we're exhausted and we don't have enough to give? And maybe we're getting to the point of being a little resentful. Maybe it's time to take a step back and take an hour for ourselves to walk around in nature and to re-energize. Just thoughts. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear what you think.
That's what you said is absolutely true. this mother job is really a sacrifice.
Yes,
Especially in Indian culture, like we have so much work to do. Household work itself, it takes, for me, it takes most of the time. So I'm intentionally set aside, like mostly in the evenings, I set aside some time for myself for meditation, chanting, and doing healing and all that. As you said, yeah, it is there.
it's so important. It's because
Yes.
when you're full and re-energized, you can give so much more.
Yes, yes.
It's
True.
wonderful that you're doing that. That's a great level of awareness. Yeah, great job. Yeah, and we can all do more, right?
Yes, definitely.
We can all do more. Absolutely. Antoinette, I know you have two little ones, and I'm sure that that's challenging for you. My daughter is already 28, so I don't have that challenge anymore, but I remember the days. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And I liked also the way you said that we, as much as we love ourselves, so we can give that. And this is also an amazing tool for teaching our children. So because it's a challenge work, we have a lot to do generally.
Yes.
But the thing is, okay, we do the whole, exactly, we can do our best, and we can also teach how to do our best with self-love also.
Yes.
So
yes.
not only thinking about the children, but also thinking about myself, because for instance, for girls, for daughters, this is very important because they tend to do the same as we do.
Right.
So in the future, I would like my daughters also to have a lot of love for themselves, and also share that. Not only things for the house or things for their children, not only that, but also, starting from her, I would say.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. As women, we tend to give and give and give. That's our nature. Women are nurturers. We're born for that. It's in our DNA. But we need to reflect back and to give to ourselves, really to fill ourselves with the things that are good for us. Otherwise, we become depleted. And from that state, we can't create. From a state of depletion, we can't create new things that are exciting and beneficial to the world. So we really don't have a choice. We have to love ourselves. Yes. Terrific. So we're going to have these meetings once a week. Every week, we're going to have another exercise to do. Some of them we can do together if we have that participation. Some of them you can take and do them during the week and bring them fulfilled when we meet the next time. I think that this is really important for our well-being. I look forward to meeting you all again next week, and feel free to bring new people on. I think that this could be beneficial for all women. Let's see what we can do to increase our self-love. And I wish everybody a week full of self-love. At least 10, 15 minutes a day, just for you. Fill your bucket full of love. Thank you so much for joining me. This was fabulous.
Thank you, Mayra.
You're welcome. See you soon.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.